The Fox X-Men universe is a bit of a mixed bag. You got the good, the bad, and the downright hideous. With all of these movies, it's safe to say that some of them will get lost in the shuffle. There is always one that stands apart from the rest, however, and it's Hugh Jackman's best Wolverine solo movie, and you've probably clearly guessed it. It's... No, not that one. It's...
What?
You look nice.
I feel violated.
Now you might be wondering, what the fuck? You do know Logan exists, right? And yeah, I know it exists, and it is the better film by a mile, but The Wolverine is the better comic book movie in my opinion. That doesn't mean I don't like Logan or think The Wolverine is the best comic book movie ever made. I just think that it's the best comic booky Wolverine film. And a comic book movie being comic booky all depends on how you view comic books. You got the weird, the colorful, the goofy, the serious, the dark, and that's only a few ways to describe comic books. So when I think of comic books, I think of various locations that seem unimaginable, actions that pack so much punch, slogans that will never be forgotten, and characters that jump off the page. Logan will always have rated R Wolverine, and that alone will always make it God tier. But overall, The Wolverine is the better comic book film.
Oh. That's nice.
Let me just start off by saying this movie has some of the best settings for a comic book movie. It's not just another American city or random forest. We get the inner city of Tokyo, the outskirts of Japan, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if this snowy mountain location is actually from Japan, but who cares, it's still in the movie and it looks great. The Yoshida household has guards surrounding it on the outside, but on the inside it's very calming to look at and makes for a unique place to have a showdown. The snowy village is gorgeous and allows the Black Clan to have a great home field advantage feeling. The more suburb feeling of Nagasaki compared to Tokyo allows the audience and characters to breathe and recover from the chaotic action back in Tokyo. All these settings serve a purpose and make it feel like an actual comic book, moving from one unique location to the next.
She's asking if he prefer the dungeon, the nurse's office, or the mission to Mars.
Thanks. Oh.
You may have cut him once or twice while he was teaching you.
Okay.
As far as the characters are concerned, everyone here from Yukio, Mariko, Silver Samurai, and Viper all in some way resemble their comic counterparts very closely. Even though Logan doesn't get the classic yellow suit during the movie, he gets it in a deleted scene, which, if you don't want to count that, you can still see Yukio carrying the same case in the actual film, so it still counts. Silver Samurai doesn't get the classic look of just some dude in some armor, but the mech suit they use is well done and not too over the top or complicated. The cast actually resembles a comic book, and it was a nice breath of fresh air way back in 2013.
I told you to! I didn't like it.
How did you know there's a pool down there?
I didn't.
We are grateful for your protection of Mariko, but there's one more sacrifice you must make for her family.
Go fuck yourself, pretty boy.
The action in this film is almost on another level. I think it's safe to say that in 2013, this film probably had some of the best action for a superhero flick. Hugh Jackman is in that sweet spot in his career as Logan and is absolutely shredded as usual. The funeral scene with the Yakuza shows a wounded Logan for the first time and gives you a look at what a mortal Wolverine would look like and makes him have a more conservative fighting style where he has to shield himself from flying bullets, using some goon's body, or protecting a part of his body that's already been hit. Compare that to the Berserker style we're more accustomed to. This leads into the bullet train scene, and this scene is just awesome. Dudes are kicked out of a moving train going 300 miles per hour, and we see Wolverine have to take out guys traveling at high speeds. We even see him use some smarts by faking out this one guy since he doesn't have too much control over his environment for once. The scene where Logan takes the little robot out of his body is followed with Yukio and Mariko's father have a nice hand-to-hand combat, and then it's followed with him finally being able to fight and go all out for the first time in the film. The Snowy Village scene is a little nice precursor to the final fight and has some beautiful cinematography when they're subduing Logan. The final fight has Logan out of his element by not just being able to cut up the Silver Samurai suit. We see Wolverine using a samurai sword like a badass, and it looks straight out of a comic. Even though this film doesn't allow Logan to be the truly raw and visceral mutant we see in some of the comics or in Logan because it's PG-13, this film actually gets away with some truly intense stuff.
You all right?
So, where do you want to go?
We'll see.
Interesting.
With all of that said, this movie wouldn't be nothing if the story was shit, like another Wolverine solo movie we all know. This film actually makes the incredibly bold choice of staying in the current continuity that was left in shambles by The Last Stand. Not everything carries over, but the whole heart of the movie is Logan's PTSD about killing the love of his life, the woman he loved, the woman he swore to protect, Jean. Logan starts the movie by doing what he normally does best, and he exiles himself to some random forest in the middle of nowhere. He's a man who has been cursed by immortality. He's seen everything, done everything, loved everything, killed everything, and suffered through everything. He's done being the soldier. He's done caring for others because he always finds a way to hurt the ones he loves. So instead, he chooses to love no one. Throughout the film, Logan battles with the idea that he should just give up. Let his injuries get the best of him and just die. He doesn't give up because his mission isn't over yet. Even after he avoids death by removing the robot from his heart, he is the Wolverine once more. His injuries later are finally severe enough. He's on the brink of death. He's about to break free of his immortality and join the woman he loves, but he can't. He knows that even though he's the one who ended Jean's life, in the end, he wasn't the monster. It's a story of a man who has seen so much evil in the world throughout his life and knows that will never be him. It's handled beautifully and sums up one of the most interesting aspects about the character of the Wolverine.